every single person has their own way of studying, and it can be different by the way you studied in college even. So you just have to find that your way and what worked for you.
Let's welcome our next guest who just recently passed the CPA exam.
So my name is Rullo. I am from East Hanover, New Jersey, but I went to school at Hofstra University. So when I went there, I moved to Long Island. Then now I'm working at Grant Thornton as a senior tax associate. I have been there for 4 years now. I've worked there my entire career.
How did you stay focused and maintain the drive and self-discipline to pass this exam?
I think I just had the ambition to pass. I just had that determination, that want just to pass it, and I saw how hard it was. So I think that that characteristic of mine definitely helped me. The first year, definitely, I was in my master's year, and I was interning, so I was around all my college people still, so that was a little bit difficult, so I wasn't really that focused then. But then afterwards, when I got my job, I was like, okay, I have to get this done. I don't want to lose a part. I want this over with, and then once I have it, I never have to study again. So I think just telling myself that and repeating it, and also the feeling of passing just kept me going and just kept my focus, and that I wanted it more than anything. That was all I wanted, and that was all that was on my mind. So I think that all did it for me, gave me the strength.
How did you manage the study time?
I'm a night owl, so I would study after work. I don't like waking up early, so that wasn't a thing for me to wake up before work to study. So I would go do work, and I worked during the off season, it'd be till 6. I would work, and then I would just study the entire night. And then during busy season, I would literally work. Like I said, I would do the 60 multiple choice, at least do 60 multiple choice and get them correct, and then I would just study until I went to sleep. So I don't know if I would say that I managed my time amazingly, because I kind of would just study any single second that I wasn't working. And if I wasn't doing multiple choice, I was walking the dogs and had the audio in my ear, or I was literally doing something at every single second to be studying for it or have the CPA there. Yeah, so actually I passed FAR this past summer, and I do partnerships. I mostly focus in partnership tax. So it's due September 15th. So I took it in August, which is it's our biggest busy season. We're working till 2 a.m. every single night. So it was horrible. It was terrible, but I would try to study a little bit throughout the day, so I would feel a little bit better and more confident a little bit. And then I would study. If I ended at 2, I would study till 4. If I ended at 10 p.m., I would study till 2 a.m. And I just made sure that I was doing it. I just made sure that no matter what, I got my studying in for that day. So many people are why aren't you taking a break? I'm I can't. I just want it. I want it done. I don't need a break right now. I'll just stay up all night if that's what it takes to get it done. So some people even said when they were studying, they would be excited for busy season, because they would actually they would take their break then of not studying. But I also don't believe in taking breaks. Really, when you're trying to study for the CPA, I think a week, between getting your score, you should take a break. But I don't believe in taking months break of not studying. That's kind of crazy.
What did you do a day before the exam?
A day before the exam, I would read Ninja Notes, and I would just be calm. I would try as hard as I can not to panic or anything, because I definitely have a tiny bit of anxiety. So it took me a while to get to that place where I would just stay calm. I would read through all my Ninja Notes. I would also go through, beforehand, I would do the practice exams on Ninja. So I'd go through those questions again, just quickly. I would just review them. And then I would just do some multiple choice again, and that's really it. And I would watch a movie a little bit later in the night just to calm myself, and then have the exam the next day.
what were your top CPA exam study preparation mistakes?
So mistakes, I would say, I think a lot of people spend a lot of time with the lectures, which I think that is a huge mistake that people like learning from themselves. Like I know I had to learn it from myself. Like I said before, is people were telling me don't do the lectures, but I just felt like I needed to have that 100% like completion on Becker. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do them anyways, and that just wasted a ton of time. So I'd say that was one of my biggest mistakes. Not realizing the time commitment, and like I would be like, I can go out tonight, it'll be fine, but then it wasn't, and at the end of the day I felt upset because I could have just been studying and got it done quicker. So I would say like definitely like recommend like not saying no to things. You will get it done way quicker. And then my last thing is don't take too long of breaks, like in between studying, because I know some people will pass an exam and then take like a month break. I think that you have to just go for it constantly. Like I said, just take maybe a week break, because obviously people do need breaks, and like you need a new mindset, you know. So I think to not give yourself too long of a break, because then you're just gonna kind of lose that motivation and that like determination. I think that's one of the reasons people have a hard time passing at first, because you have this idea of how to study and then all of a sudden it's just not working and you're not passing. So you have to see like different ways of what works for you and what finally gets you there, you know.